Alright guys, I thought today we would take a look at some of these cell phone slash USB chargers from, big names like Nikon and Samsung, lesser known but still major manufacturers like ZTE, and a super cheap dollar store travel charger, and see if they're really able to put out the amperage that they claim, or if they're just using Chinese math. Now, for some phones, it really doesn't matter what they can put out. For instance, my old Samsung Galaxy would hardly draw more than an amp, so they were fine with everything. But my new phone, which is this ZTE Z Max Pro, will take 2.1 amps in a heartbeat. So we've got the Koisi USB charger doctor here and the variable DC electronic load, and I thought we would take a look at these, see what they're rated at, and then find out if they can really handle that output of current. So let's start with what's probably the biggest name in the business, Nikon. Now granted, this has a lower current output because this is actually made for a camera. So this is the Nikon AC adapter EH69P, and its output is 5 volts at 0.55 amp or 550 milliamps. So let's plug her in. Zoom in here a little bit. Oh, there it is at 550 milliamps, holding on quite well. And look at that, 540 milliamps, and it's dropping down to 4.6 volts. Still in the realm, but that was a rather quick drop off. Let's increase the current slightly, and there it is. I mean, we still haven't even climbed above the 540 milliamps, and it has completely dropped off the marker. And if we increase it to 0.6 milliamps, it just fails. It can't handle it. So the Nikon, probably the biggest name in the business, barely able to handle its rated current. All right, next up, Samsung. Let's take a look at this one. This is rated 5 volt 2 amp. So let's plug her in and see what it has to say. Alright, crank her up here. There we are at 500 milliamps or so, and she's putting out 5.36 volts. No worries. Right at an amp, 5.42 volts. No worries. Take her up to 2 amps here. .54 volts. 2.1. Still holding. 2.2 still holding. And there's your drop off. So the Samsung is definitely capable of what it's rated for, with just a little bit of cushion room around it. Kudos to Samsung. All right, next up, it will be the ZTE. And it is rated 5 volt, 2100 milliamps, or 2.1 amp. Alrighty. Let's see what she has to say. At 1 amp, holding good. Take her up to 2. Holding good at 5.39. 2.1, holding fine. 2.3, she's still holding, no problem. 2.4, holding out. And there's a drop off. So almost 2.5 amps out of the ZTE. That's pretty impressive. Now, the last one is this Case Logic. Let's see. Travel charger, 5 volt, 2.1 amp. All right. Now this one has two ports. One is marked 1 amp and one is marked 2.1. That one's 1 amp. That one's 2.1. So we'll check them both. Let's start with the 1 amp. Oh. All right, let's see what we got here. This adjustment knob is incredibly sensitive. So the 1 amp port is easily holding 1 amp. Amp and a half. Almost. Easily holding 2 amps. .5, 2.6, 2.7, 2. There we go. There's a drop off. Let's see where the point is. Trying to get her. It's right around 2.3, 2.2 amps is where it has its power drop off. All right, let's try the 2 amp output. Amp and a half, no troubles. 2 amps, no trouble. 2.2, we're dropping a little. 2.4, we're dropping. 2.3, we're dropping. It's right around 2.6, 2.3. Somewhere between 2.3 and 2.6 is the drop off on that one. So looking at these 4 chargers, they all meet their recommendations, except for the Nikon, which drops off right at its specification recommendation. So no Chinese math here. I'm impressed, but I tell you, compared to the big names, this cheap Case Logic one seems to be the best of the bunch. I'll see you next time.